everybody, how you doing? This week, I'm reviewing War Dogs. Yes, War Dogs, the tale of two men who go about procuring a military contract to sell the United States guns that they acquire from... No, not that War Dogs. Jeez. That one, that's the War Dogs I watched. Where did I find that? This movie starred Jonah Hill, Miles Teller, and was directed by the guy who did the Hangover series. I think that's why Bradley Cooper was in it. Maybe you owed him a favor or something like that. This movie is from the success to the failures of these two individuals. Kind of, not really. It starts off funny, and then it gets kind of serious. It follows one of the characters, Ephraim, who's played by Jonah Hill, who kind of feels like a grown-up, slicked hair back version of Seth from Superbad. Kind of the same lying, skeeving, kind of out for himself, without the undertones of like actually having a heart. This guy in this movie is just ruthless. He's just a lying sack of shit. Miles Teller's character is kind of the, I'm getting kind of caught up, just kind of going with it, here for everything, sidekick kind of character. It's kind of weird. I didn't actually care for his comedic acting and his normal type acting. It just didn't, it didn't feel that good. I kind of looked like, I haven't seen him in many things. As the movie got on and got more serious, that's when I started to actually appreciate his acting. So that actually makes me pretty excited for his new upcoming role, Bleed For Me, which is a boxing movie where a boxer gets injured, but that's a different movie. We're not doing that today. So it follows the seedy kind of ways that the government can kind of be exploited to make money for people. And these two, while they come off as kind of innocent and just wanting to make money, it's really kind of dark the ways they go about doing it. They kind of put aside their whole judgment and feeling, and everybody in the movie actually is kind of just like, oh, you're selling guns, that's cool. All right, go ahead and do that. I gotta stop hitting this because I'm shaking the camera. So the movie had kind of like a Lord of War feeling. I don't know if you've seen that with Nicolas Cage. Kind of describes the shadiness and the ongoings of how easily corruptible the government really is, and all the governments throughout the... My dog's trying to catch flies. The movie is set up kind of like a book in that there's a quote that comes before each chapter comes along, which normally, it works for some movies, but this movie's already kind of predictable, so putting a quote in that you know is going to be in the upcoming scene at some point makes it even more predictable. So it kind of takes away from that, and it's, like I always say, movies are pretty predictable anyway. This one's no different at all. You can kind of see everything that's happening as it's happening, especially now that it has the quotes in the beginning of each quote-unquote chapter. So the movie is also accompanied by a lot of narration by Miles Teller's character, David. He's constantly telling you what's going on and what's happening, where I feel like it could have been taken out and left out and supplemented with better acting and better storytelling. You don't have to exactly tell me everything that's happening, which makes for a weird point that they just talk too much. And you wouldn't think that being in a movie, but they just didn't shut up. And also, as in a lot of movies nowadays, the second act just slows down a lot, and it almost just completely ditches the humor and gets really kind of dark and really slow and just like serious, like life-threatening serious. It was kind of weird because the movie was marketed and portrayed like it was the guy who directed The Hangover, and you're like, oh, so it's gonna be a whole lot of crazy antics and funniness. Definitely in that second act, it just, man, there was points where I almost pulled my phone out, and that's never a good thing in a movie when I start to look on Facebook to see what other people are doing. I'm supposed to be the one that's entertained. I'm at the movie. My dog's just staring at me with his stupid little drool face. So, to my verdict of it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I might be in the minority. Funny how that works, huh? I really wanted to like this a lot more than I actually did. I wanted this to be like that Lord of War, which is not really one of my favorite movies, but it's definitely an enjoyable movie that I could actually go back and watch now. Where this, I don't think is going to happen that way. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I'm seeing some of the other reviews. Reviews were really negative for it, the ones that I trust anyway. So I really tried not to let that affect what I actually thought, because I've got an entire paper of notes of what I thought about the movie. Yeah, I do a lot of work. It's fine. It's not easy. I don't just put this camera down and just talk to it and be an idiot. Kinda. I don't think I would watch it again because I kind of got everything I wanted to get from that movie. There wasn't much that I need to go back and revisit to it. but I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than some of the movie critics out there did. So, as always, if you agree with me or disagree with me, leave me a comment down below. Tell me, what you thought of the movie if you plan on seeing it. I know a lot of people there was a lot of hype for the movie. They had a big marketing campaign, but I don't know how it didn't do too well. It wasn't really well received. Haven't heard much after, and that's always not a good thing for movies. If you're watching it through Facebook, or if you happen to stumble across this on YouTube, which I really want you guys to go do there, you can check that out right here. The link will be somewhere there. Like always, like the video, share it. Thank you for everybody who supports all these videos that I do and stuff, and I will see you guys, like always, next week. Peace. I don't know what to do this time. Maybe I'll just end it mid.